All right, so while my kitchen is a disaster, I'm going to do a video on my sourdough starter. Now, I'm for sure not an expert. I was very impatient the first time I made it, and I killed it. So we're trying again, and from the depths of YouTube that I have searched, there's no videos of people actually not being successful, and I just want it to be more. I want people to feel like it's okay to fail, or for something to not turn out. Just don't give up. Keep trying. And I don't give up. So here we are. If I fail, you're going to watch me fail. We won't know until like tomorrow though. So first, you are going to measure 120 grams of water. Purified, don't use tap water. If you're in the city, in the country, doesn't matter. Filtered so that there's no chlorine or anything else in there that can kill and prevent the natural yeast to grow. So I'm going to measure out 120 grams of purified water, or 125, whatever. It's equal parts. We're going to roll with it. So we're going to set this aside because this needs to be warmed up. So give me just 1 second. That is not a necessary step. However, things grow better when they're warm. So I'm going to warm it up as if I was going to mix in yeast, like no more than 110 degrees, and warmer than room temperature. So the 30 seconds in the microwave will be fine. You may be wondering, Maya, why are you being willy-nilly if you just said that you failed the first time? Well, you see, I know why I failed the first time and why the starter separated the way it did. I did not wait the full 24 hours. Duh, Maya. That was a silly thing to do. I got overexcited. And that's how I know where I screwed up. Anyway, so my water is at 80 degrees. Warmer than room temperature, for sure. Because propane is outrageous and I'm a cheap ass. So there's that. Anyway, you can use any jar you want. I am not a fan of dishes, so in order to not waste any sourdough starter on day 3 or to discard, I am using a half-gallon jar. You do you, boo. You do you. So, setting this baby on the scale, gonna zero it out again. And I am using unbleached bread flour. Now, that is key. Do not use bleached flour. Use all-purpose flour, use whole wheat flour, whatever. But whatever you do, don't use bleached flour because the bleaching kills some of the, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It kills some stuff so that the yeast that is naturally occurring in bread flour, or wheat flour, excuse me, will not grow like it should. Apparently words are hard for me today. I apologize. You know, hopefully, what I mean. Anyway, you're going to measure out 125. The recipe is 120, but I over-measured the water, and it is what it is. So 125 grams of bread flour. So, man, maybe try not to make such a gigantic mess as I am, but I just made a loaf. I'm making a loaf of bread, so it's already a mess. Nailed it. 125. Okay, take this off your scale. Boop, boop. Okay, just set that aside. No need to futz around with it. So the consistency that you're going for in this mixture is a natural peanut butter consistency. One moment. Don't have a fork that long, so using this. Not like your Jif peanut butter consistency where you can gloop it on a knife and it just stays there. Natural peanut butter is like a mix between like a biscuit and a pancake batter mix. So that's roughly what you want. I just dump her all in there. So she's a little thick. So I am going to add a touch more water. It's more of a like biscuit mix. You want it a little bit more flowy than that. So just a touch. I'm saying that more for myself than anybody else. That was probably a teaspoon. But, you know, if you do, there we go. If you do add too much water, just add a little bit more flour. It'll be fine. So, there we go. Oh, yeah. She's beautiful. Did not get a very good. See? She's beautiful. That's about the consistency you want. And literally making a sourdough starter is this easy. Now, you gotta be patient. You gotta wait the full 24 hours or until you see bubbles. Like if your house is cold, it could take longer. But what I would recommend, because like I said, my house is not very warm, put it in the oven off, but with the oven light on. That is what I will do once my oven cools, once my bread is done. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set a lid just on top of here. I'm gonna go set it in the sun where it's nice and warm. And I'm going to forget about it for 24 hours. So tomorrow I will make another video on how to feed it in 24 hours and so on until when you feed it, there are bubbles and you can see it crawling up the jar. within 2 to 3 hours of you feeding it. So until that point, your sourdough is not ready to bake with. Now, on day 3, we will be discarding some, and you can make like sourdough pancakes or whatever you wish with it, just not bread, because that yeast is not mature yet. So that is that. And I hope that if you try sourdough, you do not get discouraged if the first even 5 times don't go as planned. It takes time. So just be patient with it. And I'm speaking from experience on that. But like I said, you can put the lid, just set the lid on top. You can even use like a cheesecloth or an old towel, like tea cloth. I think that's what this is called, cheesecloth, whatever. Use an old hair tie or a rubber band, whatever. Just don't seal it off because it needs air. So I hope if you try it, you are successful with it. But if not, try again.